What is up, everyone? My name's Evan and I'm coming to you with another video. This video is specifically about my home state, California, more specifically the Republican candidates that want to run for governor. In this video, I'm gonna be a little playful, I'm gonna be a little nonchalant, but it's all in good faith. You know, all these people are Republican, all these people are conservative, all these people are tired of our state being a perpetual example of failed liberal policy. So it's all in good taste. Some people are gonna watch this and be like, oh, why aren't you dunking on Democrats? I don't need to, dog. You know why they're bad. You know why they're bad for the state, and there'll be videos about that in the future. But I'd be pretty hypocritical if I couldn't like call out the failures on my side. On top of that too, I think that anyone that isn't willing to point out failures within their own allies, friends, colleagues are people that don't want to see them improve. And that's really what this is all about, right? You want to see improvement from your side. So to start things off, we got Chad Bianco. So going into his Ballotpedia profile, it looks like it's not exactly update, doesn't even have a picture yet. We can see that they have had a run for public office in the municipal elections in Riverside County. I believe this was for sheriff, which he did win. So that's a good start to his track record, right? Yeah, so he's been sheriff for a minute, and now he's taking a stab at the governorship. I would suggest to his team, consider filling out your Ballotpedia profile. But since that's not filled out, let's take a stab at his website, right? So right off the bat, you see the most important stuff. Well-developed website, looks good, offers different things for you to donate. 2026, okay, I see what you did there. Chad Bianco was born in 1967 at Hill Air Force Base in Oakland, Utah, and grew up in a small mining town as the eldest of 3 boys. Raised by hardworking parents, he was instilled with the values of integrity, perseverance, and personal responsibility. These principles shaped his belief that respect is earned through actions, character, commitment to service. Read more. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Sheriff running for governor, I can only imagine that one big thing he's going to harp on is public safety, you know, cracking down on crime, as you do. Well, I can't say personally I'm familiar with Sheriff Bianco. I have heard this name before, so I don't think he's off to a bad start, but this is around the time where you're going to want to start ramping things up. So going back, we can see that the next one listed for the Republicans is going to be Sharifa Hardy. Now, Sharifa Hardy does have her profile built, it looks like. So let's go ahead and open that up. Sharifa Hardy, Republican Party, is running for election for governor of California. She has declared her candidacy for the 2026 election. Hardy completed Ballotpedia's candidate connection survey in 2024. Okay, so she's had this on her mind for about a year. Interesting. Probably looked at the opportunity with Newsom coming out of office as be the best opportunity for her to come in, because incumbency typically comes with a favorability in the election. There's a lot of people that prefer the devil they know rather than the devil they don't. So, ooh, oh, I already see the first thing I don't like. Look, religion. She's spiritual. She couldn't tell you exactly what it is, but she's spiritual. She got some type of faith. Could be any faith. Could be your faith. So, she was born in Washington, D.C. She earned a high school diploma from the Downtown Business Magnet School. Her career experience includes working as a politician. She's been affiliated with Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, the Black Business Co-op, and the One Me Foundation. I don't know what none of that is, so we're going to have to, well, I obviously know what Chamber of Commerce is, but didn't realize there was a segregated black one. So, all right, so from her political history, it seems that she was in the general election for state senate, which it looks like she lost. It looks like she didn't even make it to the primary. Yeah, no, she got dropped off in the primary. And to be fair, it looks like it's a very strong Democratic district. Wasn't much hope there to be won anyways, because Mario Paz didn't seem to fare too much better. So she doesn't have any record of success, so I'm not sure where politician comes into the play of this, but maybe her website has more answers. Her website looks a little packed, in my opinion. I feel like when you have a political candidate website, you don't want too much going on because it could get a little overwhelming. The first thing you want to do is have a place for your supporters to find where they could do more with you, which it looks like upon presentation it has that. It's very well built website, I will say that. It looks very nice, very clean. I'm just not a fan of all of these tabs. So let's see what more we could learn about her. So it's not much larger. In fact, it looks like it's near the same. So Hardy's focuses are to eradicate homelessness and create jobs, lower taxes and high inflation, and fight corruption. Ooh, you got someone that really stands out here. Can't think of a single other candidate that wants to get rid of homelessness in California or create jobs or low taxes. It's almost like this is the bare minimum of what you would expect from a Republican candidate. Ms. Hardy is a business consultant. Okay, so that seems a bit more reasonable. Look, and it looks like it's linked out. So it looks like this leads somewhere. Where do we go from here? Entering the rabbit hole. So this is her consulting firm. Ask Sharifa. And she has her podcast. She has books. Path to Politics, written by someone who hasn't won a race yet. Nice. I love it. Okay. Funding, news, contact. At Ask Sharifa Consulting Firm, we are a bridge between your ideas and your success. Our mission is to connect you with the resources you need to build, brand, and market your business effectively. Whether you're an entrepreneur just starting out or an established business looking to scale, we provide the expert guidance and support to help you reach your goals. Ooh. Okay, you know what? I can't even knock it because that does seem very pitch where that seems like a nice elevator pitch in itself. I probably just wouldn't lead with you have a book on a path to politics when you haven't won a race. Maybe provide some success stories. It looks like she does actually. Oh, too quick to judge I am. We saw a significant increase in website traffic and sales within just a few months. I recommend the marketing agency. This is Janet Morris. Don't know what company she's with. The agency completely transformed our strategy. They're a true marketing partner and we're thrilled with the results. Willie Brown. Don't know what business Willie Brown is in. Their expertise and their data-driven approach allowed us to optimize our campaigns for maximum impact. Maria Stevens. I mean, that sounds all nice, but I would love to know where these people work. What's their business? It kind of adds to the legitimacy of your consulting. But hey, what do I know? She sure has everyone's podcast, though. She has all of her podcast guests. But ooh, I would probably take that off. Kind of been a minute. You've had enough time to take that off. Going back to her actual political website. She's a business consultant, an author, a talk show host, an influencer, and mother. She started working for her family's business doing customer service and dispatching at 11 years old. She built her first website in 1994, ran for Long Beach City Council District 6 election in 2022, for the California Senate District 33 primary election, and can't even say like the general election for. You have to preface that it was only the primary because you didn't make it through. And is passionate about business. I would hope you are as a business consultant. Ms. Hardy was laid off 8 times, yet didn't quit. She used the experience and knowledge she gained working for these companies to benefit the businesses she now consults. With decades of experience, political and community service experience, Sharifa Hardy has positioned herself to become one of the top people in business, politics, and a person on the rise. Now, that's a good way to interpret it. It's a very positive spin on it. But the other way to look at it is that you haven't won a race and you've been fired a bunch of times. So that's Hardy. Biggest takeaway is I think she has a wonderfully built website. She definitely did a great job with that. I would probably just focus on the now. It looks like a lot of your links are kind of rooted in the past with these races that you ultimately did not win. You want to present yourself as a winner because showing all these losses manifest you losing in the future. People don't see you as a winner, in my opinion. And I feel like there's a way to spin that. Next one on the list, Steve Hilton, the Fox News anchor. Well, host, rather. So, let's go ahead and check out his side. Once again, did not complete his Ballotpedia profile. So, this is the first time he has ran for anything in California. He's very well known. At least in the Central Valley, he has significant name recognition. So let's go ahead and take a look at his website. Now, right off the back, right? No dynamic animations. It's just right from the rip. Running for governor. You can meet me. This is what I want to do. This is where you get involved. And that's where you donate. You make it clear, cut, concise, because that's really what people want, man. You have people nowadays with the attention span that can only be measured in nanoseconds, and yet you got a million and one things on your campaign website, and it's just not going to work. You're not going to get people drawn in. That's what you do podcasts for. That's what you do interviews for. That's what you get analysis from the local GOPs for, from interviews with journalists. That is where you break into your nuance. Your website should just have opportunities to meet you, your mission, and how can people help. Like, that really should be the crux of it, besides also donations, obviously. So right off the back, good picture, people in the background that support him, and this is where you put everything in. That is a very clean, slick design, right? Let's make California golden again. You know, a little spin off of MAGA one could put together. Doesn't really make for a good acronym, though. There's nowhere better than California, but everyone can see how badly things have gone off track. We were once the land of opportunity. Now we have the highest housing costs and the worst business climate in America. We were once the land of plenty. Okay, so this is kind of playing off into that nostalgia, right? People that remember a better and greater California and being like, we could get back there, which I think is kind of the theme of all Republicans in California. It's that we have strayed from what was once a great state. And I don't think that's a losing message. I just think it's a tired message. But I suppose how else do you run, right? Other than saying what we currently have right now is dog shit and where we're going is going to be much better. He has a little video. Let's see what he says.
It all started with freedom. My parents fled communism in Hungary. So I was born in England, a free country, but a country in rapid decline. My earliest political memory was Mrs. Thatcher, the first British leader in a generation with the courage to fight back for freedom. Our family didn't have money. My mom worked in a shoe store, my dad in construction. But like so many working class people, they just wanted a better life. My parents were so proud when I made it to Oxford University, and then when I got a job with the Conservative Party, working for Margaret Thatcher. She unleashed the spirit of enterprise in England. She inspired me. I started a business, even a couple of restaurants. That is a tough business. Later, I helped elect a Prime Minister, worked in 10 Downing Street. In 2012, we moved to America, to California, the ultimate expression of America, the home of freedom. Or it should be. I taught at Stanford University, started a company, wrote books, hosted a TV show. I lived the California dream. I raised my family here, made my life here, became an American. It was one of the proudest days of my life, but also a reminder of the madness, the masks, the lockdowns, the school closures. Look at these pictures, the chaos, the crime, the collapse of the California dream. This is not just any other state.
Okay. I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh, but it's like, I see a lot of this stuff like in my everyday life where you got locked up stuff and stores that for things that you never would expect to be locked up. Now it's a little bit better in the Central Valley than some areas because here we're kind of no nonsense. Like, as bad as the Bay Area and SoCal has gotten, Central Valley maintains some level of civility. So you don't see as much as like the refrigerated items locked up, but you do see like stupid shit like deodorant locked up. Like that is one thing that pissed me. I remember walking to a CVS, and CVS is bad, bro. Like everything's locked up. If you got a cold, bro, you gonna need someone to get that cough medicine. You need deodorant, you need shampoo, or socks, or like I'm not shopping for socks at CVS. Let's get that fucking clear. But like if you're at like a Walmart and you just want to get some drawers or some socks, bro, those are behind glass. It's behind Pixie, dog. You're gonna have to call a Walmart worker, a guy that hates his life, has dealt with all kinds of nonsense today, to come and get your fucking socks and take them to the counter for you, or the register. That's wild, bro. Like you gotta treat socks and boxers the same way you treat alcohol.
California means to America what America means to the world. Let's make California the land of opportunity again. Great jobs, great homes, great kids. Let's make California an inspiration again. The very best of America. There's only one way to do that. We've got to end the one-party rule that got us into this mess. It's time to end the years of Democrat failure. It's time for a new future. That's why I'm running for governor. To make this beautiful state that we love so much truly golden again.
Golden again. Very interesting, Steve. It's just one problem, bro. British. Nah, I mean, you're American citizen, bro. You know, I'm just fucking with you, big dog. But you know, I think this is probably the most polished one so far. Clearly understands how to build a campaign site. Has all his points listed, and it is a lot of reading, which I personally am not a fan of on a campaign site. But this is for all the people that want to get all that extra stuff. From the very get-go in the jump, this is perfect. So people that want to find that stuff, they can scroll down and get to it. But the first and most immediate thing is the bare minimum essentials, which is what you want. So, good website, nice little video. I am curious to see how his campaign goes. It seems to be gaining a lot of traction. I was recently at an event where Steve Hilton was welcomed like the belle of the ball. Came in as soon as you seen the dome. Everybody turned their heads. You had cameras on him. He was in a snazzy little suit. Different than, I guess, his iconic t-shirt, which is something that he wears a lot on his show, I guess. I personally don't watch that. It's nothing against your show. It's just I get my news from elsewhere. Anywho, that was Steve Hilton. So next up on the list is going to be Brandon Jones. Now it looks like he has his profile built. So let's see what we got here. Brandon Jones for California. He served in the U.S. Navy from 1998 to 2000. Thank you for your service, big dog. 2 years. I mean, I'm sure there's a very valid reason why you only served 2 years. Maybe you got injured, and no one can knock that. He earned his high school diploma from Indianola High School. His career experience includes working as an entrepreneur and an affordable housing advocate. Now, I wonder what that means. His election history. It doesn't look like he's ran for anything else prior to this. So what do we know about him? He's a veteran, and he's an entrepreneur, and he's a Christian. Yippee! So, let's go ahead and go into his website. See if we can learn a little bit more about him, because I know absolutely nothing about him. So, pretty good design. Can't really point out any major flaws with this. I do think that your donate area should maybe be a little bit more highlighted. Meet Brandon Jones, a Republican leader for California's future, dedicated to serving Californians. Brandon Jones is a Christian, husband, father, entrepreneur, and a Republican who has dedicated his life to building businesses, creating jobs, and serving his community. Now, notice that this kind of all like stays very vague, right? It's he's an entrepreneur. He builds businesses. He creates jobs. What do you do, bro? What do you do? Like, what is your actual like field? What's your market? Building businesses, creating jobs, and serving his community. Grounded in faith and driven by a deep love for California, Brandon is committed to tackling the challenges our state faces, ensuring safer streets, affordable housing, and better opportunities for all. My faith teaches me the importance of compassion, accountability, and serving others. I believe these values are at heart of creating a better California for everyone. And that's a quote from him. You could quote him on that. His values are going to lead to a better California. Real issues, real solutions. I would hope you have real solutions for the real issues. All right, so he wants to reduce crime. Cool. Ensure affordable housing. Wow, it's almost like we heard this before, you know? Strengthen the economy. Oh, economy. It's the economy, stupid. And tackle homelessness. No way. This guy is so different, bro. I swear, these guys just real hardline chargers. Visionaries. Overhaul public education. Reform healthcare access. Environmental protection. And look at all these awesome events that he's going to throw to represent California and to get to his constituents in places like Oceanside and San Diego. And then eventually Anaheim. And then Anaheim. And then Anaheim. Nice, guy. I get it. Start with the places with money first. You want to get to those favored constituents. You know, that's rude. I probably shouldn't even assume that that's what he's doing. But at the end of the day, you are running a campaign, right? You got to get dollars so you could get things rolling. I get that. But I have more questions than answers, Brandon. Why'd you only serve 2 years? What happened? I think that it could be a very compelling story. I think it could be something you can use in your marketing of your campaign, right? Did you get out because you paid a price for your country? People would like to hear that, man. People would like to know. I would like to know. You were in the Navy, bro. So was I. My one veteran to another, bro. What's your story, dog? Secondly, what do you do? You're an entrepreneur. You make businesses. You make jobs. Like I know some entrepreneurs. They made like 3 jobs with their business. I feel this is a campaign where I just don't know the candidate. I genuinely just don't know much about you other than the things that I could guess and assume for every other candidate, other than you're a veteran. So I would work on that. Flesh out who you are, Brandon. So next on our list is going to be Kyle Langford. Now, he's filled out his Ballpedia page. I've heard some whispers about him, but let's go ahead and check him out together first. So Kyle Langford. Kyle Langford was born in San Jose, California. He earned a high school diploma from Lake Oswego High School. His career experience includes working as a construction manager and the executive director of California First Pack. Ooh, dog, are you like based? So we could see that he hasn't ran for any previous offices. What we could tell is that he went to high school, works as a construction manager, birthplace San Jose. I was in San Jose for a little bit. I was in the worst part of San Jose, or at least I was in a bad spot of San Jose. It's Astoria and White, East Side San Ho. He is a Catholic. Diaz Volt. So let's check you out, big dog. Governor Langford. That is bold, bro. Right off rip. Setting it. And there's 3 of you. Isn't that interesting how color works, right? How this side of he's like really bright, but this side he's like very dark. And it's just a difference in shades. Like there's more blue in this. Why I learned that. It's called color theory. I learned that in my painting class, brody. So, first off, don't love how your American flag is on the right side of your lapel. I get the idea, right? Because typically the American flag should be facing in a direction where if you're charging forward, the flag would be going in that direction, which makes sense because if you're on the right side and the flag's facing to the right side, you want it to be flowing as if you're moving forward, which I get that. I just don't like things on the right side of the lapel, personally. California today, California tomorrow, California forever. Campaign merch. Oh, no. Don't put your merchandise first. I don't think you should put your merchandise first, big dog. I feel like there's a tab you could put this under. So, California and Californians first seems very similar to a certain someone I know. California invented innovate or die. What happened? In 2026, we have a historic opportunity to finally put people of California first. For far too long, politicians in Sacramento have allowed petty quarrels and incompetence to paralyze the government, preventing them from fulfilling their most basic mandate, maintaining and modernizing California's infrastructure. The failure is more than repulsive, it is dangerous. In a rapidly changing world, we cannot afford further delays. California must build now, or the consequences will be dire. It's time to prioritize action over excuses, results over rhetoric, and the needs of Californians over the whims of career politicians. The future of the Golden State depends on who wins in 2026. Here's my only thing, bud. Your campaign website sucks. Like, this is ugly. Just, you built this yourself, bro. You watched a 10-minute YouTube video, got this domain from GoDaddy.com, and built this shit yourself. Don't be stingy, man. Fork up the money to get a good website. Get a good website. Now, I like that this guy's young. Spotify, was it like a pod? You got podcast or something, bro? I personally hate this website. I think this website sucks. I do like that you are unapologetically California first. I love that you're Catholic, but I think you're out of your depth. I think this is a race where you're biting off more than you can chew. And I feel like ultimately this is going to be a very painful learning experience for you. With that said, I feel like I might agree with you the most out of all the candidates so far, at least on a macro value basis. I don't really see too many examples, or even where I could find examples of what you would do to actually change California. So I personally think you need to revamp this whole website. You need a fucking nice website. You need to get your points out clearly, thoughtfully. You're going to have to really ramp up your game, because right now, all these people aside from you, even the ones that haven't ran before, have more conventional experience around them that they have access to. You strike me as someone that doesn't have that in your corner. You don't have any seasoned people helping you through this. But we'll see down the road. Maybe I eat my words, and if I do, I'll even make a donation, bro. Get a better website. Get a better website. So, next on the list, Daniel Missouri. I'm just call you Daniel. Let's check out your profile. Daniel Missouri. You were born in Santa Ana, California. You've served in the United States Navy from 1998 to 2003. What was that, 5 years? That's not bad. That's a contract. I mean, cool. Ooh! Presbyterian. Womp, womp, womp. I'm just, dude. Okay. So, he earned an associate degrees in broadcast and communications from Los Angeles Valley College in 2006. Your career experience includes co-founding a production company and working as its CEO, as a partner, and as the chief financial officer of a private investment group, an advertising professional, an author, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu professor. You look like you do jiu-jitsu. There's no shade to you. You look like you look competent. You look like you could handle yourself. And a boxing coach. You've been affiliated with the Veterans in Media and Entertainment VM. Can't say that I've heard of that organization, but it gives me something to look up later. So it looks like, ooh, you ran before. For governor, no less. Let's see where you fell in this. Where are you? There you are. At 0.5% in the primary. 36,000 votes. Woo! All right, so let's check out your website. Right off the rip. Tough picture. I feel like I've seen this picture before. It's almost like that's the same one you used for the other one. Oh yeah, tough. Just aura farming. Starve the government, feed the people. Careful with that rhetoric, big dog. I mean, I agree, but you could see how the same could be used by a very progressive, radical communist candidate saying the exact same thing. So, American ascendancy and self-governance has been despoiled by a single locution. Womp, womp, womp. Progressiveness to which California is praised for. Oh, it's a quote from you. You could quote that from Daniel. I'm a man who believes in putting America and Californians first. Oh, another America first guy, another Californian first guy. Well, unfortunately, you got beat to the punch, big dog. Unless you had that since your last failure, then maybe you weren't beat to the punch. In this swamp arena, we the people call politics started back in 2019. When I first became a congressional candidate. Oh no, you didn't have that on your Ballotpedia. Come on, man. So, more failed races. As a veteran, I did not swear my oath to communism, Marxism, socialism, or any other ism for that matter. I swore the oath to uphold and defend the U.S. Constitution. An honorably discharged U.S. naval veteran, I am tired of political correctness, the vitriol, and deliberate lies that purposely kept the people divided. Republicans and Democrats have turned their back on their constituents. Being exposed to corruption firsthand and having experienced the bribery that engulfs our government, I am more than prepared to bring the fight to the corrupt in our government's doorstep. It's time for a new breed of representative servitude with backbone. My gloves are off, and having a deep understanding of U.S. Constitution, I'm extremely ready to remove those sadistic politicians out of politics. Oh, dude. This ain't your grandma's candidacy. Oh yeah, we're cranking the volume up to max and tearing off the knob. Woo! Very machismo, very strong candidacy, right? You're just really leaning into that. I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's bad, but let's call out the things. So your website, need to fix your website. This does look better than Langston's, but there's still work that needs to be done. You put a little emphasis on your donate button. That's good. I think that the sharp cut like this into white looks a little lazy. Maybe consider like some colors that you're going to make the definitive theme of your race and have that reflect in your website. I feel like it would look a little bit more polished. You got home, info, policies, contact. I think you need a get involved section. So consider having a get involved section. Change the colors. Maybe consider how your rhetoric may look to the moderates in the state, if there's any left. Now, you know what's interesting about this? I often say that moderate politics is dead, but this is an example where you got the tone turbed all the way up, and I think you should only reach that level of partisan rhetoric in small bursts. I do think there's a place for it. I really do. But I think that if you're right off the cuff, like kind of leaning into like this really hardcore campaign, you're going to turn a lot of people off. You're going to end up with 0.5% of the vote again. Don't waste your time. Don't waste the time of others. Run a campaign to win. So, next one and the last one, Leo Zaki. All right, Leo, let's check you out. So you do have your profile built. So Leo Zaki, well, he's a chill guy, you know, arms crossed, hanging out, chill. You're a business executive. Cool. Anywho, you're running for the election of governor of California. You declared your candidacy in 2026. Your biography is that your career experience includes working as an executive with Zaki Farms. Okay, so your thing isn't actually filled out. It looks like it's very sparingly filled out. You have no real information besides, you know, Zaki Farms, right? Which I assume is a family farm. So, it looks like you ran back in 2022 along with the other litany of candidates that ran. Where did you place in this, bud? Leo Zaki with 1.3% of the vote. You know what? You're outperforming some of your people that are running this time around. Not gonna say who. Let's see what we can find out about you. Leo Zaki, take back our schools, crush crime and chaos, unleash California's economy. Taking back California. California's been wrecked by corrupt leaders and sellouts. They've overtaxed us, let chaos take over, and turned schools into propaganda. I'm not here to manage the decline. I'm here to end it and rebuild for we the people. Rebuild for we the people? Come on, bud. It's like an AI generated like description. This is a revolution to take back our state from big government, media lies, and political fraud. You got a little video. You know what? I let Steve Hilton play his. Let's go ahead and see what you got to say.
They lied to you.
3 minutes? I'm not
They
watching
stole
all
your
this
money,
shit.
your business, your future, and they call it progress. When I was born, California was a conservative state. Now, I'm in my 30s, and this is California, burned to the ground. Either we wake up and take back our state, or we lose everything to corruption, globalist agendas, and government overreach. Why can't young people afford homes? Why are our farmers being strangled by water restrictions while California's reservoirs sit empty? Why do politicians protect criminals instead of law-abiding citizens? Why do we keep paying more for gas, electricity, and food while they live in mansions funded by your tax dollars? What the hell is a supermajority? I'll tell you, it's the reason California is completely screwed. A supermajority means one party controls everything. No debate, no opposition, no checks, no balances. Just corruption on steroids.
So, one thing I don't like, and a lot of people don't like, is bringing a problem forward that you don't have a solution to. And running for governor doesn't solve the supermajority. In fact, I would say if you're bringing the supermajority as a issue that you highlight with California, you're doing the opposite of what you need to do, because there's too many people running for governor. There's only one governor of the state. There are several state senators, several assemblymen, several city council members, county supervisors. There's so many levels to which you could benefit the state and begin to chip at this supermajority. Yet that doesn't interest you. No, you want the big office. You know, you want to be the governor, dog. Like, yeah.
The politicians in charge, they want you weak. They want you poor. They want you afraid. We don't need another weak politician making empty promises. I come from a family of farmers and business owners. My great-grandfather immigrated here and built Zaki Farms from the ground up. For 90 years, we fed California. We worked hard. We built something great. And watched it get destroyed by overregulation, taxation, and all the government corruption. I learned business from the ground up. I know what it's like to fight through red tape just to survive. And I know how to fix it. I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman, a farmer, and an unapologetic fighter for California. I don't owe anyone in Sacramento a damn thing, and that's why I'm dangerous to them. We the people must take back control of our lives, our freedoms, our government. The wasteful spending, the corruption, the lies. Enough. I have the solutions. I will end the homeless crisis. I will fix our water shortages with reservoirs and desalination. I will cut the taxes and remove the regulations suffocating our businesses. I will expose the corruption in Sacramento and hold these crooks accountable. We need someone who knows what it's like to fight, to work, to build something from nothing. They don't think we have the guts to take our state back. Let's prove them wrong. I'm Leo Zaki, and I'm running for governor here in California in 2026. Let's finish what Trump started. But first, we need to do one thing. Vote for common sense. Let's turn California red again.
Had to throw in Trump's name real quick, just jump on the Trump wagon. One thing that I do find interesting that he put out was desalination. I have a little experience with desalination on a very smaller scale than what he's talking about for the ship in the U.S. In the U.S. Navy, we desalinize the water to use as our potable drinking water and water to wash ourselves. So I know a little bit what he's talking about. It's one of those things that like everyone says we should do. It's not overly complicated, but the issue of it is making it more efficient than what it costs to do it, right? For the ship, there's a large amount of efficiency because we can store that water and we don't use it as fast. Whereas the state uses a lot of water, bro. Like, you need a lot of water to maintain livestock and to maintain plants. It's getting better with, drip irrigation and new technology that comes out so that we can use our water more efficiently. But even then, you don't become the agricultural hub of the world and not use up a lot of water. It's just, it comes with the territory. So desalination, while I like it, I'm not entirely sure the technology is there to do it in a way that would be efficient. Like, anything that we would create, we would immediately use up. So you have your 2022 endorsement. I would get rid of that. Personally, they don't endorse you anymore. I know this to be a fact. Like, the Fresno GOP loves Steve Hilton. I would consider removing that. I think you got a little too much caked onto your site. I feel like you could definitely remove some of this. I like that you do have all your contacts here, right? So donate, volunteer, press kit, invite Leo to speak. Your website's definitely not bad, but you could minimize this just a bit more. It's a lot of stuff thrown at you. Like, you could reasonably end right here and just have a place for your issues. Look, you have an issues button, you have a bio button, and it's still all here on the first page, unless do those tabs just scroll you down? Is that all it does? Let's see. Nope. You have a whole bio, but you still have a bio on your main page. You have your issues listed, and you still have a whole tab for your issues. Like, minimize this first page. Like, get people to where they need to go. Want to learn more about me? Bio. Want to learn more about my stances? Issues. Endorsements? Bam. You got everything you need there. Just take off a lot of this clutter. And that concludes our list of current Republicans running for the state of California's governorship. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's pretty long, but I felt like it's important to go through all these candidates, especially as a Republican who wants to see my party improve in the state. You got to be critical of your own guys, and this was a great opportunity to do so. With that said, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, share if you want to. I don't think you're going to, but nonetheless, I appreciate you watching. I will talk to you later.